I think it's just cool. Like Barcelona coming to Australia for the first time in their history. That's a pretty big thing. G'day, couch critics. We're back with another video, and today we're talking about Barcelona coming to Australia to play against the A-League All-Stars. They're back. It's going to be interesting.
And a new logo as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, new logo, new colours. It's going to be interesting. We're going to talk about some of the good things. Obviously, it's coming in the same week as the grand final. So we'll talk about maybe some of the reasons why it doesn't look so good. It's been a lot of talk on A-League Twitter, soccer Twitter. And so let's dive into the chat right now. Bradley, the A-League All-Stars are back. What do you think?
I don't mind it. People think it's a very American concept to have an All-Stars or, the pro team or whatever. I like the concept. I don't mind it. I went to the last one we ever had when they played Juventus, and I went there in my Wanderers gear, and every goal we scored, I cheered, and I sat right next to a bunch of Italians and sat there in silence when Juventus scored. I think it's going to be a great concept. I'm going to be going there wearing my Wanderers jersey again, or maybe one of the All-Stars jerseys. I'll be backing our boys because it'll be so great to smash them. I mean, it probably won't happen, but I think it's a good concept. I've never had a problem with these games coming over here. Obviously, the big issue we have is how do we convert these fans to A-League fans? Because there's no doubt there is an appetite for football in this country. It's just not necessarily an appetite for the A-League. But I'm all for it. And hopefully we can tie it in well with the grand final, because it's on the Wednesday and the grand final is probably going to be on the Saturday or the Sunday. So if they can tie that in well, I'm all for it. If it's just a cash grab, and I mean, it probably is a cash grab, all these clubs coming over is, but no, I'm keen. I'm keen to see it.
Before we dive too far into that kind of maybe some of the negative connotations, I think it's just cool. Like Barcelona coming to Australia for the first time in their history. That's a pretty big thing. And I mean, Barcelona are one of the world's biggest teams, and they're joining. There's other teams coming to Australia. Manchester United coming to Australia. Celtic are coming to Australia. Rangers fobbed us off, but that's no big loss for us. All these big teams coming to Australia, and I think it does speak a little bit to there is an appetite for football. People do enjoy football here. We have lots of players, lots of people, fans who love the European game, and I mean, this is Australia where we're known worldwide for the beaches, for the Harbour Bridge, for the coffee culture. There's great things about Australia. It's an awesome holiday destination, and so why not kind of continue to sell that to European clubs? Come to Australia for your off season. Now I know, like you're saying, it would be great to get those fans converted to the A-League, and I think that's where I want to focus on the positive of it being in the grand final week. I think it's an opportunity to advertise and convert people. First of all, they're playing against the A-League All-Stars, so there's a chance to see some of the best players in the A-League play against Barca. Of course, the two teams who are in the grand final, their players won't be in the grand final, in the All-Stars team. So obviously that's not the peak of this season's players, but definitely there's going to be some great players running around that fans can get behind and say, oh, you mean I can see this guy week in, week out? I can see Elvis Kamsoba do backflips against Barcelona, and I can see him do backflips against Adelaide United. Awesome. I think that's really good. And then because it's leading up to the grand final, if we can get 90,000 people to see Barcelona and the A-League All-Stars, and then get it on Channel 10, and then smash adverts for the grand final, there's tickets still available. It's probably at this point going to be down in Melbourne, the grand final with Melbourne City. And so a big population is going to come up for the match, get them to buy tickets and then go to the grand final. Get people who like football a ticket to the A-League's biggest match of the season. That's a way that we convert,
make it a package. You buy a ticket to Barcelona in the grand final.
Yeah, absolutely. I think and the commercial kind of side of things as well, all the commercial partners who are going to buy corporate boxes to the Barcelona game, then show them the A-League grand final, get them in. That gets sponsorship, but it also gets, just the everyday fan of football interested in the A-League. So I think that's the positive way. If the game is on Channel 10, the Barcelona game, that's going to be fantastic. And I think, well, because it's against the A-League All-Stars, surely the APL have sorted the deal there with Paramount and Channel 10. So I think that's the positive way that this game could be a spectacle. Of course, back when the calendar, Football Australia put together their calendar for the year, and this idea of a festival of football was floated, either culminating in the A-League Grand Final or the now Australia Cup Grand Final, and, football events showcasing all the way leading up to this big event. I think this kind of fits that model. Something for football fans to get excited about, but actually, what's the key event? It's the Sunday, it's the A-League Grand Final. So I think it's moving in the right direction. If we can continue to build things into this kind of Grand Final week and get people just watching football every night, and the A-League being then the key event, I think we'll start to see those kind of crossovers. So I think it's good.
Yeah.
Now,
and it's the first time Barcelona has ever come to Australia, and
that's it. Yeah.
I don't think we have a necessarily big Spanish population, but we have quite a big football culture, and there's a lot of people, Euro snobs or not, that would love. And to be fair, I mean, even for us A-League fans, seeing Barcelona is an awesome thing. Obviously, there's no Lionel Messi. Imagine if he was. I don't think there'd be any tickets left.
That's right.
But yeah, just the opportunity to see Barcelona, I think, is awesome because, we're A-League fans, but we're also football fans. And
yeah, that's right.
To share the opportunity that, I've got to see Barcelona play. I think that's pretty cool.
I think this is one of the things maybe on Twitter and Facebook that football fans in Australia can get pretty just upset about things. But actually, this is just a chance to enjoy some football. Just enjoy it for what it is. This is a great football match that we'll get to watch. And it's the same week as the grand final. Cool. I get to watch two games of football in the same week. I think we should be celebrating those things. And I think that kind of leads us into maybe some of the negatives. Bradley, the first thing is you've already bought some tickets. What did you make of the ticket prices for this Barcelona match?
I mean, they're probably what you expect. I got tickets right up the top of the sides, $49, and they're real nosebleed tickets. So I'm probably going to have to take my binoculars. And some of the ones a bit closer to the field were in the 3-digit range. And for me, I mean, it's a friendly. It's a glorified friendly. It is Barcelona. I mean, I'm sure we can wing a bit, pull a bit more money out of them by saying it's Barcelona. We can justify these prices, but I mean, it's daylight robbery. I think I said that on Twitter. They are absolutely thieving these people, and people buy it. So I guess, can you complain as an organizer because people are going to pay for it? But it's disappointing when you charge $150 for fans to go watch a friendly match, and you charge $20 for an A-League ticket, and you can't get people to go. I mean, that is probably the worst example of what Euro snobs are like, that they're willing to pay the big bucks for a stupid ass friendly, yet they'll be like, I don't want to go watch the A-League. It's like, it's $20. You could, for $150, you could see close to 7 A-League games for $20. It's
probably better.
Yeah. Are you a football fan, or are you a European snob? That's I think the pricing is always the downside of it. That's always going to be the big thing, and they can charge it. People are going to buy it. So what do you do?
Yeah, I guess the slight twist on that is it is the first time Barcelona have been in Australia. Have we mentioned that just a few times this video? And so I guess if you have been a lifelong Barcelona fan and you grew up watching Messi, we've got a mate who loves Barcelona. That's really the only football he actually cares about. And so for him, this first chance, if you've never been over to Europe or to Spain, the first chance to see Barcelona, maybe you are willing to spend $100 on a ticket. I guess we've got to allow for that. But that being said, I think football jersey fines, I think his name is, might correct that in the comments, but he said maybe there should be a bit of a tax. Our fees for juniors to play football are or for anyone to play football are pretty expensive. maybe if there was a bit of a tax that went to the FA that could help them subsidise ticket, playing prices in Australia, that would be good. Get some real benefit for the game here. So I think the tickets, I'm not going to pay that to go to watch them. I'm not going to fork out $50 for a seat right up the top. For me, it's not worth it. I'll watch it on TV. That's great. But I guess people want to if they're happy.
Yeah.
Now, I think the other negative is maybe the A-League All-Stars concept is a good concept. I think it can work, and it does genuinely excite people.
But we're not going to have all our stars in that team.
Well, that's right. Because it's the week of the grand final, you've got the two best teams, essentially, of the season, and their players won't be in the squad. So, I think at this point, Melbourne City are favourites to kind of be in the grand final. Without players like Jamie McLaren and Curtis Good and Florin Berenguer, just to name three.
Or Matthew Leckie.
Who could easily make it into an A-League All-Stars team. They'd be first names on the list, really. For them not to be, it does mean it's not really an All-Stars, it's a some stars team. So, that's maybe one of the downsides of having it in that grand final week is you don't get to quite show the spectacle. That being said, we do actually have quite a lot of talent in the A-League. And so it's quite exciting to be able to pull some of the best players from different teams and put them in a squad together. Obviously, they're not going to be very good because they all play for different teams, and it's not quite the same as like a national team getting together. So, that the quality of those friendlies is always down a bit because you've got one team that's never played together and Barcelona who will bring on their stars for like 30 minutes and then play a youth team for the rest because they don't want anyone to get injured. So, it's not always the biggest spectacle, but they're special events, So I know. I think summing up here, Bradley, I guess we both think it's a good idea. Is that right? We're both on the positive side of this.
I'm in a positive side because unlike a lot of people out there on social media when it comes to football in Australia, we actually are. I think we're quite positive. There's a lot of negativity out there, so I think we've got to embrace it. Massive club coming to our country, playing the best, most likely some of the best in our country, and I can't wait. 90th minute, 0-0. Cross goes in from the A-League All-Stars, and Bernie Abena smashes it into the back of the net in the 4th minute of stoppage time. And the Euro snobs are in meltdown. It's going to be absolutely lovely.
The only problem with that picture is there's no way Bernie Abini is getting in the squad ahead of Elvis Camsaber. I'm sorry, mate, but he's going to score a bicycle.
The thing is, I don't think Bernie Abini should be even in our starting Wanderers team, let alone the starting A-League All-Stars team.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, look, it's good that we're positive. We are called the A-League Couch Critics, and anytime we do get critical, people seem to dislike it.
We're not that critical. Maybe we have to live up to the critical tag. But anyway.
Maybe just stay tuned for some other videos. People seem to like the Socceroos video where we kind of went nuts. And so just finishing off this video, thanks so much for all the views. And if you're here because you watched that Socceroos match and you've subscribed since then, we're so thankful that you have subscribed. And here's a little reminder, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to hear more of this A-League Couch Critics content, mostly optimistic about Australian football. And leave a like on this video. If you're still around, aim for 20 likes on this one. So hit that like button right now, get us to 20. Bradley, thanks so much for chatting with us. Let's see you around later.
See you around like a rissole. I'll be flat out like a lizard drinking.